Bum 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 bum. The Peter Shit Show. Bum 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 bum. All right, it's early spring 2025, and unfortunately, those of my veteran viewers know that I've been battling binge eating problems for many years. I made a lot of progress for 5 years, and then in 2 weeks, all of that went in the toilet. And I'm gonna be talking about why in a moment. But first, what does binge eating disorder feel like? Well, the best way I could describe is just it almost like some force has taken over your eating faculties, right? You when you're having an attack, you could kill over wanting to eat what you want to eat, right? You could care less about keeping your job. You could care less about keeping your relationships healthy. You could care less about your personal safety sometimes. I could attest to that. There have been times I have pretty much risked my safety, my life, during the pandemic, my good health, just to go out to get food. And it's a very scary, it's almost like some inner force has taken over your life. That's the best way I could describe it. I've never been addicted to anything other than food, right? Or at least any substance other than food. I've never done alcohol, nicotine, any hard drugs, but it's like a force has taken over your body, right? I tried marijuana a couple times. It didn't do that to me, right? But food will. And what did I do about it? Well, in 2020, at the beginning of 2020, I made a resolution to do something about it. I had lost a job the previous year over food craving kind of issues. I had completely ruined a vacation experience. I traveled to Macau and I couldn't find any of my favorite foods, and that was a total disaster, to say the least. And also, at the time, I had a girlfriend, but oftentimes we argued over my food cravings. I'd be, or sometimes not even argue. I just couldn't wait for her to get out of my sights because of my cravings. One time, uh, I was at her place and I wanted to go out at a very odd hour to get a food craving and things like that. It just constrained everything, everything. There was not one event in my life that wasn't touched by my out of control food cravings. Vacations, jobs, relationships, every everything got touched by my food addiction, and I decided that I could. I started reading about the benefits of intermittent fasting, and that's what decided to start with, because there were benefits, and also it forced me to realize that life moves on without food. And not long after that, not long after I had made my resolution, one day I went out to the grocery store, and half the store was sold out. So was the toilet paper and everything. And I remember thinking, what a great thing, right? I have good control over my eating faculties. These people probably need these things more than I do. And the real dividend came when I moved to the Rocky Mountains. You gotta understand the Rocky Mountains. We don't have all the conveniences of 24-hour groceries over there. And just a year earlier, I would have never thought about moving out to the Rockies. I lived in Wallace, Idaho for 3 months. I lived in Missoula, Montana for 2 months. Then we reopened from COVID. I landed a couple of jobs that were a little bit more stressful than I had hoped, and I kind of backtracked a little bit, but I was still having good control of my eating faculties. Eventually, I landed my current job at the Maricopa Colleges, and I was eating really well. 16-hour fast regularly. Sometimes I would string 2 days together to make a 40-hour fast. Unfortunately, these last few months have been brutal for me. I was alone. I had long COVID, the heat wave, and one day I didn't even have water at home. I had to go out, and when I got it, I sat on a mobility scooter at a store, and the security was very hostile to me. It was 115 degrees outside. I was sitting on a mobility scooter just to get some hydration, get some food. I was disoriented, dehydrated, and so the security guard there was very upset. And the only reason he didn't grab me and try to drag me out of the store was when I explained to him, I'm sorry, I'm just recovering from COVID 19. When he heard COVID 19, he backed away. Otherwise, had I said that I was recovering from chemotherapy, or that I had just broken up with my girlfriend, I was heartbroken, or had I said that, I had injured myself in the store, twisted my ankle, oh, he could have cared less about that, right? He was only caring about his safety. And that really upset me, and that made me want to make new connections so that I wouldn't be all alone trying to deal with this in the future. At first, I had a difficult time making new connections. Lately, I've been drowning in new connections. I have something going on in Taiwan, and I made a lot of friends here back home. I go to a trivia event every Saturday, and I was talking to the some of the these are older people in their 50s, 60s. I thought one of the members there could introduce me to her daughter and their friends. Her daughter is already engaged, maybe not engaged, but in a very serious, committed relationship. But I thought she might have some friends, and then I learned that they were involved in a book club as well. And I made a close friend with somebody in the book club, and also a distant of we'll call her Eve Curry, because distant cousin of Eve Curry, because she's half Polish and she loves literature. And yesterday I said it was a reincarnation of Eve Curry, but I made a mistake because she actually coexisted with Eve Curry here on Earth. So not a reincarnation, just a distant cousin. I wish I had met Eve Curry though. Uh, I She only recently passed away, 2007, uh, which goes to show that we have a lot of control over our longevity, right? She lived to be 104, despite all the radiation that she was exposed to in the womb, right? Um, so I really believe that the people Elon Musk said claim Social Security for 200 years, I really think those people actually do exist. The government doesn't want us to believe we can take control of our bodies and our health, which is why I need to correct my eating disorders. Unfortunately, all of this chaos, up and down. Right? Let's face it. There are times when I thought I was walking on eggshells with all of these relationships, and sometimes eating disorders get put on the back burner when you're dealing with this, right? Unfortunately, although I have to remember, good health is at the foundation of all this, right? I can't put the cart before the horse, right? Like I am right now, right? Forever at least, right? So I'm gonna have to think hard about good eating hygiene again. Lately, that's been kind of going down the tubes. This is the Peter Shit Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Shit Show. Bum 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 bum.